Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome to the meeting. Just some minutes, so we'll be kicking off. Hi, Esther. You're welcome to the meeting. Greetings from Nigeria. How is Uganda today? Hi, everyone. Yeah, Harold Kaunda, you're welcome. Okay, feel free to welcome. Feel free to join us. You can share the link in your respective fellowships. We still have like 2 minutes or a minute for scholars to join. We'll be kicking off soonest. I promise you, it's going to really be a very amazing session. So you don't want your friends to miss it. Okay, so we still have some few minutes to share around. Hi, AB, how you doing? Nice to have you from my state. Charlotte, I don't know whether I got the pronunciation. You're welcome from Cameroon. Nice to have you here as well. All right, so we'll be kicking off in a minute's time. Yeah, Daniel, you're welcome. Daniel from Ghana. Hi, Praise, you're welcome to the meeting. Glad to have you here. Gadrel. Gadrel. I don't know whether I got the pronunciation, but you're welcome to the meeting. Which, you're welcome. You're welcome to the meeting. Yeah, Peter. Peter, you're welcome. Peter from Kenya. Nice to have you here. Okay, guys. So we'll be starting off. Hi, Gabriel. Nice to have you here. Gabriel from Nigeria. It's good to have you. Okay, guys. So we'll be starting off the program immediately. Um, I hope you all can hear me. Let me get some reactions in the chat box so we can continue. Just a reaction. Put your favorite reaction in the chat box. We'll be kicking off immediately now, just to confirm that everyone is active and listening. Put your favorite reactions in the chat box. Once I see like 5, we'll pick up. Nice, 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 nice. I can see the reactions coming. I can see it coming. Okay, nice one. Right. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. All right. Okay, that's fine. All right. So, so just as a way of a little bit introduction. So I'm going to give you a little bit overview for some of us that might be new to this webinar. I'm going to give a little overview of what uh, the Wells Mountain Initiative Medical Scholars Board stands for. So this is just a collaborative platform. It's an initiative of the Wells Mountain Initiative. So it's a platform that is dedicated to empowering WMI scholars through their career advancement, mentorship, and skill development. So the board offers a kind of an enriching materials and quarterly experience sharing webinars, providing scholars with practical insight and resources on diverse topics such as professional development, funding opportunities, just like we're having today, and ways of navigating through their medical careers. So the MSB fosters a supportive community where scholars can connect, share experiences, and gain guidance from experts and peers. So through this initiative, the board helps WMI medical scholars to thrive in their medical careers and contribute meaningfully to their communities. So apart from that, beside that, I'll be going to next to introduce our speaker for today, who is here with us, Dr. Jurugo. Sir, please, can you kindly share your video so I can go on to read your profile while we kick off the meeting immediately? All right, thank you so much, sir. Can you say hello to the participants?
Hello, everyone. I'm not sure you're able to see me.
Yeah, we can see you clearly.
Yes, sure. Thank you.
All right, sir. So I'll be reading your brief profile while we start off the presentation immediately. Okay, so Dr. Jurugo is a dedicated health professional with a deep commitment in advancing global healthcare and humanitarian initiatives. Originally from South Sudan, Dr. Roberts graduated with a degree in medicine and surgery from Kampala International University in Uganda in 2014. Following his internship, he returned to South Sudan, where he began his career in humanitarian sector, working in clinical and public health roles for various international organizations. In 2019, he furthered his education by securing a prestigious scholarship to study a Master's of Science in Health Policy Planning and Financing, a joint program between the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine and the London School of Economics. His studies have equipped him with critical insights into health economics and public health, enhancing his expertise in program management, strategic planning and development, and data-driven decisions. Currently, Dr. Robert serves as the program specialist for adolescents, youth, and the HIV focal person at UNFPA in South Sudan, where he is deeply involved in designing leading health programs aimed at empowering young people and shaping inclusive health policies. So he is dedicated to strengthening partnership and advocating for sustainable health solutions that continue to drive impactful changes in global health landscapes. Dr. Robert is honored to share his experience and insights on securing funding for graduate studies with aspiring scholars like us here, drawing from his rich experience in both academic pursuits and professional advancement in the health sector. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you our lead speaker for today, Dr. Jurugo Roberts. It's good to have you, sir. The floor is yours. Feel free to share your screen as we go on with the presentation.
Thank you. I have shared with you the PowerPoint slides. I don't know whether you're able to upload from that side. But I didn't want it to be rigid, sort of slide presentation,
Okay.
but sort of interactive. And, you know, the slide will only be guiding. So please, if you can, project, I think that will be good.
All right, I've received the slides. And that's finished. Okay. Okay, you can kick off. I'm downloading the slide. I will project it once it's in my PC. Just
Okay, that's great. Thank you, everyone. In today's discussion, I would like to call it discussion, not presentation. We shall be discussing how to secure a scholarship to further our studies. We have been fortunate enough to get the Wells Mountain Initiative Scholarship that is helping a lot of individuals in the developing world to complete their undergraduate, their diploma courses. But of course, after that, we shall need to go further with our studies. Others would like to do their masters, others would like to do their PhDs. And of course, as all of you are aware, Wells Mountain Initiative does not support masters, and we shall need to delve deeper into areas of finding other scholarships that would further our studies. And of course, that includes scholarships at home and abroad. And in today's discussion, we shall specifically be talking about securing scholarships to study abroad for those who are interested to study in Europe, UK, that is no longer part of the EU, as well as US, Canada, and Japan. So this is basically a general overview, but it's going to be based on my experience, not anyone's else. And of course, we do have a lot of Wells Mountain Initiative scholars, graduate scholars who have furthered their studies. And I hope they are around also to give their overview of, of how they secured scholarship to further their studies. So can we go to slide 1, please, so we can kickstart this? Theo, are you using PowerPoint? Yes. Basically, that's the first slide, of course, to introduce myself. I'll be the one leading this, supported by Theo and all of the other moderators. So basically, this is my journey. As soon as I finished my internship in Uganda, I came to South Sudan, where I was working in the humanitarian sector. In South Sudan, because of the wars that we have had in this country, most of the employment opportunities are really led in the humanitarian sector, as well as, of course, in the development sector through the UN and donor agencies where I work with now. But when I left internship, I immediately joined the humanitarian sector, where I worked for refugees who crossed from Sudan to South Sudan because of insecurities in Sudan. And that really opened my way to thinking out of clinical practice. You know, as a medical student and as a doctor, you're all interested in saving life, doing the clinical work that is supposed to be done in the hospital. But the exposure that I got during the humanitarian work exposed me to both clinical and public health. And it is sort of interesting out that, you know, you started to write proposal, write reports, look at indicators, something that we were not looking at in clinical practice. And I think that really set my way into thinking of going abroad to study for masters in public health, particularly masters in health policy planning and financing at both the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. So I finished in 2014. Internship in 2015, crossed immediately to South Sudan. And 2017 was when I submitted my applications to the Civil Society Leadership Awards of the Open Society Foundation. And of course, I got the scholarship, but I was fortunate to get a job, and I had to debate on whether to leave that new job and go to school or continue with work and maybe go later. So that eventually led me to defer my studies to 2019 from 2018, where I went to the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine and the London School of Economics and Political Science. Next, please. Yes, so there are a lot of opportunities when it comes to scholarship. There are those that are merit-based scholarship. Basically, if you're researching, you need to look at the different types. There are those that are merit-based, needs-based. For example, Wells Mountain Initiative is really needs-based. But of course, it combines with excellency. That means you needed to have demonstrated that you are able to, complete your studies successfully with great results. So I would like to believe that Wells Mountain Foundation is both merit as well as need-based. And then there are those country-specific scholarships. Country-specific scholarships also fall within need-based as well as merit-based. And those country-specific include, for example, chevening and the Commonwealth scholarships going to the UK. For those individuals from countries that are Commonwealth members, you should be able to, look at the Commonwealth scholarships to the UK, as well as the chevening. South Sudan, for your information, is not a Commonwealth nation, but we have the opportunity to apply for the chevening scholarship. And of course, I know a lot of colleagues who are undergoing chevening scholarship right now from South Sudan. So other scholarships are the DAAD from Germany, as well as the Erasmus from the EU, and next from Japan. Others are organizational scholarships offered by global organizations, such as the Rotary International, Gates Foundation. I have never met anyone who had Oh yeah, in another webinar, yes, I had interacted with an individual who was sponsored by the Gates Foundation. So it's important that when you are really preparing to apply for scholarships, you should look at the global level, but of course with the focus of a country that you like to go to, and of course the university as well as the course, because different courses, different universities have different objectives for a particular course. So it's important that you research and do your very good research. Next, please. So what's important is after doing your thorough research, you should be able to see the different scholarships, the different countries, whether you're eligible for that scholarship, as well as your eligibility for admission into that university. From my experience, as from medical school, it has always been a dream to study in one of those great universities in the world. But when I was doing my research, Harvard came in, and it was in the US. And of course, the admission criteria is a tough one. Of course, I excluded myself. That's why I did not apply to Harvard University. But of course, through networking and advice from fellow public health professional colleagues, particularly that I was working in immunization, I was able to get to know about the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. And after being convinced, I really prepared very well for that. And I knew I was eligible to apply for that, to that university through the Civil Society Leadership Award. So it is important to research your eligibility, explore online websites, as well as mentorship from professional individuals. So make sure you have your key documents ready. You need to prepare your CV, personal statements. Most scholarships as well as admissions will require to have letters of recommendations. I remember for London School of Hygiene, I was required to have 2 letters of recommendations from my previous university, as well as professional at work, and as well as proof of community engagement to show that you have at most 2 years of experience post your undergrad scholarship. So research the timeline for this scholarship, plan carefully, start to prepare your personal statement, and prepare for your interviews, because most scholarships interview individuals. So make sure you prepare yourself. To prepare for these interviews, really, you need to be you need to practice. I am the best example I can give you currently is the chevening. Chevening, if you have the opportunity to apply for that, there are a lot of online platforms where people from different countries discuss the admission and application process. And I think it's important to join those communities so that you're able to prepare adequately. Next, please. So researching is so important. Look at the different scholarship portals, the scholarships I had mentioned earlier, as well as other scholarships. There are also those scholarships that are university-based. So please, as you look through the different admission portals for the universities, please also look at their scholarships. You'll be surprised to see that they really have scholarships meant for countries, for individuals from the emerging world. And please research. It's important that you do research. Ask around. Let me give you a personal example. I was at KIU Medical Campus, and of course, I was really facing issues to do with school fees. So I walked to our anatomy lecturer. He was a Nigerian, Dr. Ekanem. I walked to him. He was a pastor as well. And me, all along, I have been a church rebel. I never went to church, but I followed him as my lecturer, as my professor, and had a conversation with him. And that's how I got to know about the Wells Mountain Initiative. At that time, it was called the Wells Mountain Foundation. And I immediately applied. And I was fortunate that from my first application, I got the scholarship. So what's important is, don't be shy. Please ask your lecturers. These are individuals who have been there in the world. They might have been sponsored by different scholarships all over the world. So please open up and talk to them. Also, talk to your colleagues. Join professional organizations within your universities. And this one is good for really networking. Red Cross Foundation or different alumni groups. Or I remember when I was in Kampala International University, we had the South Sudanese Medical Student Union in Uganda, and you get to collaborate with other South Sudanese students in different medical schools in Uganda. So it's important to have this kind of networks in the university so that you get exposed. The Rotary clubs, so important. So as you craft your personal statement, because really this can give you a scholarship or it cannot. If you do not, craft yours very well, you may miss out on opportunities. So again, do not be shy. You can develop a draft, share with individuals that you think would be able to help you. For example, now I have gone through a similar process. You could share your personal statement with me or a lot of our scholars within the Wells Mountain Initiative family who have gained scholarships to go to study for their masters. Please share your personal statements with them, and they'll be able, to guide you on how to craft one. But again, the internet is a huge mentor. You go to YouTube and you key in personal statement. It will really bring a lot of videos on how to craft your personal statement for different universities. They could be students who have gone through the same process in different universities. For example, if you're targeting Harvard University, a university that I am now targeting, you could go on YouTube and you search for personal statements for to study maybe doctor in public health in Harvard University. And you'll get a lot of individuals who have gone through the same process, guiding the entire world on how to prepare compelling personal statements. So please research. Much as social media is so good, please don't only spend your time on Facebook reacting or sharing memes. It's important to really learn. And I think these are some of the things that you can learn on YouTube as well as Facebook these days. I don't know about Instagram, but I think it could be also a platform for learning as well. So make sure you're able to prepare for your interviews. And again, as you prepare for your interviews, read again about that scholarship you're preparing for, because if you read thoroughly, you may get clues of how the interviews will be, as well as join those groups online on Facebook or other networks that bring people together for that common goal of going through such an interview. For example, the chevening for now. Why I'm emphasizing chevening, because it is open. And it is open now and will be closing in early November. And for those who are interested in applying, please, there are a lot of Facebook pages that bring people together and guiding individuals on how to apply and prepare for these interviews, as well as YouTube. Also, at the end of the day, most of the universities and the countries will require you to sit for English test. So you could get a lot of guidance on social media, both Facebook and YouTube. There are a lot of pages that are really dedicated to ensuring that you pass your English test exams, as well as those scholarship-based interviews, as well as the admission interviews. Next, please. So, but of course, at the end of the day, we aim to, get the scholarship, but sometimes you will receive a rejection email, but this should not demoralize you. I have interacted with individuals who applied for 4 times to Chevening scholarship, and then the 4th time they got the scholarship. So you shouldn't give up. Keep applying, even if you get that rejection email. It's a bad email. It can demoralize you. You can go into depression. But please take it positively. What you need to do is to reflect on how you tackle those interviews. If you were rejected after going through the interview process. But if you're rejected through after just the application process, please reread your personal statement, reread all your essays that you have submitted, and then make the changes for the next application window. And of course, please get out there and ask colleagues. It could not cannot only be the Wells Mountain Initiative scholars, could be other individuals in your countries, in your universities, your work professional areas that have individuals who have gone through the same process. They'll be able to guide you closely. So sometimes some universities may not completely fund your travel abroad. I do understand, for example, Chevening will need you to pay for your English test. You see, these are things that you need to consider. The other scholarships that will give you tuition only and not accommodation, air tickets. So you need to be prepared for this. You may be unfortunate to find one that does not pay for your air tickets, does not pay for your accommodation. So please prepare for this. For those who have finished your schools and are working, please consider saving for this. It's important. Have your own side money. Sometimes the scholarship will not be able to cater for all the living expenses. I have been in London. I know London is damn expensive. But again, I was fortunate enough that I went to London when I had really worked with a development agency that working in immunizations. And as I resigned to go for my further studies, I was given my terminal benefits. And that was able to support family behind, because I have siblings who I was also paying in school, as well as support myself while in London. So please prepare to ensure that you're able to cover some of these financial gaps so that you don't find yourself stressed while studying. I do also understand that for the individuals who could secure some jobs while for their studies, those opportunities are there in the UK, in Germany, Europe, as well as in the US. If you are able to have that opportunity, please work to supplement your finances while there. So when you have gotten your scholarship, your admission, it's important that you look at the different websites of the country you're going to go to. If you're going to the UK, you key in, you go to the visa application process for the UK. The Home Office website is really very clear. If you because the scholarship I got was not a UK, it was not only taking students to the UK, it was taking students to the entire EU, Canada, Japan, as well as the US. So if you are fortunate enough to get that kind of scholarship, you should be able to look for the different countries you're going to and apply for the scholarship. And then you'll be invited for, apply for the visa. You'll be invited for the visa interviews. They will take your pictures, your fingerprints, and all that. And sometimes they'll give you some interview also, visa interviews. I think for the UK, we really didn't have any interviews other than taking your pictures, fingerprints, and of course, leaving your passport behind with them. So it's important that you do that. And also, especially in your countries, all the embassies of these countries in your country will be able really to guide you. And of course, research, go online. They all have websites. You will be able to get a lot of information, particularly on applying for the visa. Next, please. So do not limit yourself to scholarships such as Chevening or Fulbright or DAD. Please utilize the online portals to explore for more scholarships. There are scholarship portals, study portal, global scholarships for a wide range of opportunities that you can look at. On top of networking, asking professors, lecturers in your universities or workmates, please explore these online opportunities. Research. The opportunities in South Sudan are really immense, particularly with the fact that there are a lot of expatriates working with international organizations and the UN entities, even national organizations, church organizations in this country. And these individuals, most of these individuals have gone through the same processes. So please, the people you attend these meetings, these coordination meetings in your workspace, please talk to them. You see, this is an opportunity to network, as well as the different universities. As you're researching for the universities and the course you want to study, please also look for the scholarships that are offered by that specific institution. They will be able to support you. It may not be 100%, but they will be able to give you, for example, $5,000 of scholarship, and that will do a lot in your 1 year or 2 years study. So mentorship, of course, seek advice from alumni, professors, and all that. And of course, social media. Let's use social media for the good of ourselves, to develop our careers, to network, to find jobs in different countries. You could do the same thing also to further your academia. Facebook, LinkedIn, all these platforms, as well as Twitter. As a student or as a graduate scholar, you should really have a LinkedIn profile. And then there are a lot of opportunities. You could do your research through LinkedIn, and please research on there. Next, please. So if you are fortunate enough to really get the scholarship, you should be able to prepare for your studies. And I was fortunate enough, I studied from an international university, Kampala International University. We had the exposure to people from different countries. We had students from Nigeria, students from all over East Africa, even students from Southern African region. There were so many during our time. And that really, you get exposed to different cultures. And of course, most of the scholarships that we are looking for are, of course, in the European countries, as well as the US, Canada, and Japan, in the West. But you will also get cultural shocks when you go there. So please prepare for all these. I was fortunate enough to get the Open Society Foundation Scholarship through the Civil Society Leadership Awards, which unfortunately now is no longer taking in students, because since the COVID time, they are still thinking on how they really can manage this scholarship. So we had a series of briefings. We were taken to Georgia and Eastern Europe in Tbilisi. We had 1 month pre-academic summer school where they taught us about how to respond to cultural shocks. You go here with the excitement of, oh, I'm in London. And then after 1 week, that excitement drops. The weather is completely different. You need to change the way you dress. It's all the times wet. I'm a South Sudanese. It is warm and humid, and most of the time it's hot. So you get depressed, particularly during winter time. So prepare yourself for these things. But while there, please make friends. Make friends, those academic friends in your class from different countries, and interact. And as you interact, build your network, because as the excitement of winning the scholarship and going to London or any major city in the world drops, you'll find yourself alone with your books, with meeting deadlines. And I think this is a major area that you need to look forward to, because there are a number of students who get depressed and end up leaving, coming back to their country. So please avoid that. Join clubs, go for short walks, tours. I remember in London, there was what they call bar brawl, pub brawl. You move from one bar to the next. And this kind of, if it is good for you, they can really elevate your morale. And then it is usually done on weekend. And then by Monday, you're really fresh to face the coldness and academia. You see? So please do your research as well and join those clubs, and then start thinking of networking. As soon as the scholarship ends, the academic struggle has ended, you have successfully finished your 1 year or 2 year academic time, you need to head home, of course, and give back to your community. And then it is really challenging. I have met colleagues who up to now, probably 4, 3, 2, or more than that years, who have not even gotten a job. So it's important to network, start to prepare your CV, start to apply. Let me give you an example of myself. As I was submitting my dissertation, preparing to do my data analysis and, write my final report, I started to, edit my CV, start to apply around. And of course, you don't apply blindly. Get guidance from your tutors, get guidance from the your study support, your fellow students or lecturers. If you want to go back for your PhD, talk to colleagues within the universities who are doing PhDs, so that immediately, as soon as you're done with your master's, you're able to enroll. And for me, what I was really interested in getting a job, not to go back for PhD, because I really wanted to develop my career, to get some experiences after my master's. So I applied for jobs, and I was able to get a position working at the regional office in London for an organization called the Option Consultancy that was working on sexual reproductive health. And it was a great opportunity to work from the UK and support countries in East Africa, West Africa, and Western Asia on sexual reproductive health. For those who don't know about Option Consultancy Services, is the profit-making wing of Maristops International, supporting family planning strategies, developing strategies for FP 2030. For those who know FP 2030, Option Consultancy was one of that. And I was fortunate, to work on the development of the strategies for FP 2030, particularly on stakeholders engagement. And every time I really put that experience on my CV, and I think that's why I was able to secure a job with the United Nations Population Fund that is responsible for sexual reproductive health, to ensuring that all maternal deliveries are safe, all pregnancies are wanted in the world, all these kind of things. So it's important to network and study. And of course, when you're doing your research for jobs after your master's, it's important to look at your interests. Like for me, I am interested in maternal and child health, coupled with my experience working in immunization, developing micro planning to reach the zero unreached children with measles vaccines and other vaccines, as well as safe motherhood, to ensure that we really reduce maternal death in the country, in the region. And of course, that I was motivated by the fact that South Sudan has the worst maternal mortality indicators in the world. And I think these kind of things should be able to come clearly in your personal statement when you're applying for scholarship. You should be able to have a mission of what you want to do in your country. Mine, I based it on reducing maternal mortalities, as well as improving the immunization coverage in the country, which is one of the worst in the world. And by the way, I don't want to talk for the other continent who are part of this conversation right now, but in the African countries, there are only 2 countries with the best immunization rates in Africa. That is Rwanda and then Eritrea. They could reach up to 97% immunization coverage. The rest of the countries have pockets of measles outbreaks, if not measles, other vaccine preventable diseases. So it's important to base your personal statement on a key public health situation that you want to contribute into. And really, I would like to emphasize your personal statement in submitting your application. So your essays during the application process should really link to your personal statement, because those essays are there that you may be required to fill in the application process, whether it is Chevening or DAD or whatever scholarship, Fulbright as well. That means you should be able to contribute to the professional capacity of your country to participate in remedying a public health issue in your country. At the moment, it's difficult to talk for the other countries, but we could say maybe if you're from the Southern African countries, HIV rates could be higher. You need to participate in working with young people so that you can be part of, crafting strategic messages to preventing HIV/AIDS or other things in your country. So please, as you develop your personal statement, as you apply, you should be able, in your personal statement, to clearly state an important public health concern in your country, in your region, in your continent that you want to participate in, because public health or the masters you're going to go and do abroad are to build your leadership skills so that you are somewhere planning and strategizing, you see, supporting your country, supporting development agencies in making decisions. So also acknowledging that these scholarships come from the major donor countries. So as you research, look at, for example, let me take the example of Chevening. Chevening is from the UK. Look at the mission of the United Kingdom in your country. What are they contributing to? And then you should be able to develop a public health issue. I mean, to know the public health issue they participate in preventing in your country, and then tailor your personal statement within that area. And if you do that, I am quite sure you will go through the application process. Your personal statement is so important, as well as the essays you develop in your application. So network, ask individuals who have gone through the process, ask your professors, always network, consult around, share your personal statement with your family members, with your classmates, your workmates, individuals who have positive interest for you. Thank you so much. And that is the end of this presentation from my side. Dr. Theophilus, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Dr. Roberts. Honestly, that was a very wonderful presentation that you've given us. We are so much grateful, for sharing your personal experience and crafting it in a way that it suits the presentation. It's a kind of made it very realistic and interactive for us to follow. So thank you so much once again. So we'll be entering the Q&A session. But before we go to the chat box, I just have like a few questions for you that you can help to, enlighten the participants more. So like number one is like, how do one, make it to the top 1% qualified candidate that can be selected for scholarship abroad?
Thank you. That's a tough question. But what I do understand is that you should not wake up just and say, I want to apply because so and so shared with me the link. Let me just apply. It requires preparation. By the time you develop a personal statement or respond to the different essays, because those essays and your personal statement weigh a lot. By the time you have come with a final draft, that means you have drafted and discarded a lot of drafts. You have shared with your individuals who have gone through the same process. They have really guided you. That's why I really emphasize that to be among the 1%, look out for individuals who have, for example, let me take the simplest. I always like to use Chevening because it is right now open. For those who want to go to school next year, Chevening is open. In our country right now, we have colleagues like Dr. Benjamin Leju, who are right now at the London School of Hygiene through Chevening Scholarship. These are the individuals you ask to look through your personal statement, because these are fresh individuals who are still there and soon leaving the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine through Chevening. Ask them, share your stories, your personal statement, share your essays with them. They'll be able to fine-tune your essay so that you can be among the top 1%. So it's important that you seek out for individuals who have gone through the process. And I know if you get that guidance, they have a second, third, or fourth eye through your your personal statement through your essays, you'll be able to come among 1%. Over the years, I have guided individuals who really were interested in the Civil Society Leadership Awards as well as Chevening. And I think those individuals who I have either read through their personal stories, or I have also been part of their references, developing that reference. Because at the end of the day, the referees that you provide should also know what is really needed. So it's important to also provide referees who can really talk on your behalf. And doing so, I think you can be among the 1%. The referees is important. Your personal statement as well as your essay should really be checked by individuals who have gone through the process. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that emphasis on the personal statement, especially it being proofread like by people that have gone through the process, and the referees as well, the people that will be writing the recommendation letter for you. Those are important points I've gotten from all you said. Thank you so much, sir. And okay, so our next question is there an additional effort that one can put that you think that most people often do overlook during the application?
Come again with that? Come again?
Like, is there something extra that one can do that most people often do overlook during the application?
Yes, yes. Your experience is important. I would really advise that when you finish your undergraduate, please do some work. It could be an internship. It could be some voluntary work. I know it could be hospital job for most of us who are here as nurses, public health practitioners, as doctors, pharmacists. Please do some work, because most of these scholarships require that you have provided services to your country. And in the process of providing services to your country, you have identified a key challenge that you would like to contribute to. So please at least have a minimum of 2 years experience. One could be internship, one could be after internship, at least a minimum of 2 years. So as you finish your undergraduate, for those who are still finishing or those who are finished, please at least work for 2 years and demonstrate that clearly in your personal statement as well as on your CV. It should be clear your roles and responsibilities, and how did you, especially roles and responsibilities that made you realize that there is a gap here, and why, if I go for further studies, if I'm given that scholarship, I'll be able to come and participate in remedying that issue in your country. So please at least work for at least 2 years. That's what most people really undermine. And there are individuals who come after their undergraduate, and then they apply. They have nothing to show that they have a part of service delivery in their country, and it is difficult to defend yourself sometimes. So please, at least have 2 years.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Roberts. Participants, you heard it loud and clear. Experience is very vital for your application, especially in your home country. So endeavor to get an experience where you are providing services for your home country, and make sure that you elaborate on that in your SOP and CV. That's going to add to your application success. All right, so okay, so the next question. So how important are research papers in graduate studies application?
Yes, research papers, very important, because this is very important, because research, if you have done some research, that really shows that you have the context very well, and your subject matter. And then this also depends on the scholarship. If the scholarship is to build your leadership, or if the course you're going to study is to strengthen your research skills, and I think this really adds so much value and weight into your application. So research is important, but sometimes because research at the end of the day brings evidence. These evidences are needed for decision making in your countries, in your organization, and it can actually lead to providing solutions to a key public health situation in your country. And I think research plays a huge role. for those who are interested in research and or for those who are already doing research right now, please, I would encourage you to go ahead with that because it's really important. It weighs on your scholarship. But again, your course, the course you're going to do should be around researching. For example, if you want to go and study epidemiology, your previous researches really will contribute so much to your application and all that. So do not undermine your experience in doing this research. And of course, research is considered as work because you're looking for solutions, you're looking for ideas that are new. And I think it's important to in knowledge advancement. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Roberts. You said it very clearly. Research plays a vital role in making your application to stand out and being selected for graduate school and for scholarships. All right, thank you for that. So the next question, so someone wants to know whether you have any information as regards to residency program for medical doctors, or like residency training scholarship abroad.
Yeah, thank you. Most scholarships that I do know, most of the scholarships right now are contributing to building leadership, strengthening institutions, and very few take individuals for residence, except university-based scholarships. University-based scholarship. I will give you an example. I do know a medical doctor colleague who got scholarship to study Obs-Gyn in Cambridge University. And this is a university-based scholarship to study residence in Obs-Gyn. These scholarships are there, but they are very rare. Very, very rare. But if you're interested in such a thing, please explore through the universities, through the faculties in those universities, and then look at the requirements, whether you can go directly for your residence or you need to do some courses. For example, for the case of the UK, you will need to do PLAB 1 and PLAB 2. PLAB 1 is theory, PLAB 2 is the practical aspect of it. So it's important you do, and of course you have to pay yourself first. But then after that, you may not find a scholarship to do residence. In most cases, for example, in the UK, you will go and start working as a general practitioner, which is an entry for those individuals who want to work abroad, but not necessarily coming back to participate in developing in improving the human resources for health in your country. That's why there are very few scholarships for those. But for those on public health, epidemiology, health policies, they are the majority because the scholarships understand that you will come back to your country and provide services in planning, in running public strategies, public health strategies in your country. But as I said, those that take you for residence are really, really, really very few. But please explore through the universities and hospitals in those countries. And here we should acknowledge the importance of researching. So please research if you're interested. But of course, as Wales Mountain Initiative scholars, we would be interested to providing services to our communities. And I think we should be able to return back and provide these services to our countries, to our region, to our continents, or to the developing world.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Roberts. You can see Dr. Robert mentioned that it's vital that you return to your country to contribute, because basically that's what the training is all about. And he has already highlighted the parts of some medical professionals can follow maybe to enter the residency program. I mentioned PLAB for the UK and others. So if you listen attentively, I'm sure that he has done justice to the question. All right, so the next question that we have in the box here is asking whether grades, academic grades, count in graduate school application.
Thank you. If you were there from the beginning of my presentation, not the beginning, somewhere in the middle, scholarships take you on different bases, merit, others because of your academic strength. You should be able to demonstrate really that, because most of the admissions, most of the universities, let me take the example of London School of Hygiene or the London School of Economics and Political Science, where I went for my intercollegiate master's. your grades are really considered important. I remember during our time, they will require you to post through DHL your original grades to London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. Then they will verify, and then they will send it back to you. But now they have changed. They would want your university to be the one to submit your transcripts to them. And it's important that your grades are good. I would like to emphasize this, especially for those who are still in first year, second year, third year of medical school, nursing, pharmacy, and all that, those undergraduate courses. Please ensure that you have very good results. It doesn't mean that you should have A's straight, but the medical degree is not graded, but at least have very good results that can get you admitted to those top universities. If you're considering, for example, universities in the UK will really require you that you have very good grades. London School of Hygiene Tropical Medicine will require you that you have really grades. But as a medical doctor, I do understand the challenges. You might have failed one subject, or you might have repeated a year. That absolutely will not stop you from getting admitted to those universities, because they will look through all your results and say, you have successfully passed, but they should really be very good results. But of course, throughout your medical school, you might have maybe sat a paper twice or repeated a year. That is not a problem, but your overall results should really be very good for you to get admitted, for example, to the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. And of course, to a lot of other universities, both in US, Europe, and UK. They really require that. I was also fortunate to get admitted to Brandeis University. They also require that you submit your transcript for verification. So you have to post this to them. If you do not do that, on your first day on campus, they will require you to take your hard copies of your original for verification. So it's important that your results are up to date, and please do not forge. Do not forge your academic transcript, because it will come to bite you, because they will refuse you and block you from their system. And let me tell you, these universities communicate. So please, they will communicate back to universities and get your true results. So whenever you are submitting these transcripts, submit the correct one, not forged.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Dr. Precious, we get on with the last question that we have for the day, and hopefully we'll be concluding soonest. Okay, Dr. Precious.
Okay, the last question reads, can I do my internship online with a scholarship abroad?
Please come again with that. Yes, Precious. I am not getting you.
The question reads, can I do my internship online with a scholarship abroad? So this is the question.
Can I do my internship?
You can do an
internship with a scholarship abroad?
Online with a scholarship abroad.
Oh,
yes.
So you're asking whether you can do your internship online?
Yes. Like as a medical doctor, whether she can carry out her internship online with a scholarship, maybe in abroad.
I really do not understand that, but internship, you cannot do your internship online, because internship, if you are a medical doctor, nurse, pharmacy, your internship is hospital-based, and you can really not do that online. But what I do know is you can get an online scholarship. A close example right now is my colleague I work with. He is the midwifery analyst at UNFPA right now in South Sudan, and he got a scholarship with the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, and this scholarship is his studies will be done online. So that means London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine and probably other universities in Europe and the US are able to give you scholarship to study your master's online. So if you're interested, for example, those who are working right now and are finding it difficult to leave work 100%, would be able to explore these opportunities, apply for these online scholarships, whereby you apply, you do your master's 100% online, and you may be needed only on campus for your graduation. You may or you may not need to go for your graduation. So yes, you can do your master's online, but you cannot do your internship online because you really need, it is hospital-based. I don't know whether I have answered you well from how I got the question. Yes, thank you.
The question is fair. Thank you so much for that. I think it's been a very interesting and interactive webinar with you, Dr. Roberts. We thank you so much for your time. We thank you for the knowledge and being here to guide us, and giving us the tips that we need to excel in our graduate school application. We say thank you so much. For the participants, we appreciate your time. We hope that you've been able to gain amazing knowledge from the interactive session, the question and answers, and all. Dr. Roberts is in the group with us, the WMI healthcare professionals. So if you have extra questions, you can do well to drop it in the group, and he will do well to equally clarify on that. And we are going to be having more upcoming webinars that is going to center towards, building our careers and professional development through experience share. So we're going to be inviting WMI scholars who is going to equally come around to give us more information on how to excel over there in the world. Thank you, participants, and we thank our presenters, and I equally thank my co-panelists for this session. Thank you all. I'm very grateful, and it's been a very, very successful webinar. So on this end, I think we'll be calling it a day. Autopress, Ebimobere, do you have my email? Kindly send me an email so I can send you the link to join the healthcare professionals group chat, okay? Ebimobere, kindly message me via my medical scholar board email, and I will do well to add you to the healthcare professional group. You're missing a lot if you're not in the group, so just kindly do that. All right, so I think we've come to the end of the webinar today, and thank you, Precious. Thank you, the tech support from the background, Mrs. Success, and thank you, Dr. Jurugo, and thank you all the participants for your time. Hope to see you all again soon, and do have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, and bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.